So, hello, wherever you are in the world. Here in the UK, it's around 9:30 in the morning, and I thought I wanted to head outside today to talk to you rather than just be stuck in the studio. It's a lovely studio. I'm super grateful for it, but sometimes it is just nice to get outside. So I thought I'll grab the coffee as I always do, and have a little bit of a coffee time to celebrate day 20. It is the 20th of January, and day 20 is often one of those points, I guess, for lots of people where um, the original kind of New Year resolutions are kind of a thing of the distant past, and they've moved back to being on what we might term the hamster wheel, and it is back to chores and tasks and chasing life. And so, what I want to talk to you about today is something that's been. I'm hearing a lot of questions. Actually, a lot of people I think are tussling with this concept of being and doing. And so I wanted to just take a little bit of time to just reflect over a nice little coffee and really kind of think about the difference between a human being and a human doing. Now, that sounds a really kind of odd sort of concept. And if this stuff is new to you, um, then bear with me, be patient, because there is something really quite profound, but really, really interesting in this if you take a little bit of time to reflect. Now, obviously, as you'll know, in recent episodes and sort of chats that I've had with you, we're focusing this year on the whole concept of awareness and abundance. So creating more awareness in our world. So being super aware of everything we're doing, the choices we're making, the decisions we're sort of taking, the people we're with, the things that we've decided to stop doing, the things that we're exploring more. So it's very, very much about being awake. Okay, so for me, this is the essence really of this year, is about being awake and aware. And with that comes abundance, because you strip out the things that you don't really need, the things that really haven't been serving you, and you just get and do more of the good stuff. And that's really what I'm saying about abundance. This earlier this week, we had the really, really fascinating talk with Nick Kemp from Ikigai Tribe, founder of Ikigai Tribe. And Nick and I were talking in quite some detail about some of the subtleties behind the concept of Ikigai. And that is very much about living to this kind of higher purpose that I've been talking about. And here we are on day 20. And you think, oh, by day 20, we must have sorted it. We are nowhere near sorting it. This is a long, long journey. It's going to continue, I'm sure, for most of us, way beyond 2022. But here we are on day 20. And one of the big questions that I'm hearing a lot is this difference between being and doing. And there is a big, big difference. I mean, as a human being, if you sort of really, really focus in on that word, and of course, we always say, well, we're human beings. And then we end up being actually human doings. In other words, we're doing loads of tasks and chores and jobs and stuff. Whereas actually what we're designed to be is a human being. So centered, balanced, calm, happy, focused, and maybe even sort of on track to a bigger mission or higher purpose. As a human doing, and this is where, let's be honest, most of us really are most of the time, we're racing to achieve. We've got goals and deadlines, big packed diary. We use the word busy a lot. I don't know if you're anything like me, but I'm trying to strip out the word busy from my vocabulary, because it's really not helpful at all. And we tend to, if we're a human sort of being, we tend to be much, much more centered and literally at one and focused and happy and settled. But the human doings amongst us, we're making comparisons with others, we're judging, and often we're beating ourselves up for the lack of progress that we're making towards the goals. And that is the point. That is the whole thing about this. And the work that really we should be doing is really focusing on being and not doing. Because when we're being, we're actually enjoying the journey. Okay, so every day becomes a little bit special. And this is what Nick was talking about when he was talking about his definition and the true essence of the Japanese definition of Ikigai, which is very much about seeing the joy, the happiness, and the gratitude in the little things. Yes, you might have a bigger, higher life purpose that you're really striving to aim for and achieve. But once you get there, what next? Was it as great as you thought it would be? Was it that magical, sort of moment where, the heavens open and No, it probably wasn't, was it? You kind of got there and thought, right, okay, what's the next thing? So the point of all of this is if you're a human being rather than a human doing, then you're being in the moment. So for me today on day 20 of 2022, we're only scratching the surface right now. And because for lots of us, those resolutions that we set at the beginning of the year, they're gone. We're just doing the same old, same old. It is now a chance to reset. People like Tony Robbins, for example, at the moment are talking about reset, not the great reset that a lot of people are kind of catastrophizing about. But this is personal reset. This is a reset for learning the tools and techniques that we need, setting the great habits that we really sort of would benefit from. And actually, at this point in the year, very, very early, but this is often the point where things become a little bit tricky because we start to revert back to the things that we're more familiar with, the things that have become previous habits, but they might not be that helpful. And particularly if you find yourself more doing than being, then this is the time to really just focus in again today, just for the day today, and just say, right, okay, we're day 20. Let's do that little bit of a reset. Let's just make sure that I'm listening, that I'm aware, that I'm awake, and I'm not just doing. I'm not just a slave to everything else. And particularly, at times, if we can create these times where, maybe on a walk, and maybe if we still, meditating, or if you're in the shower, or just taking quiet time for yourself with a book, just think, this is being, and just bask in that and how that feels, because it's far more likely that your best ideas, the inspiration that you have, those kind of feel-good moments, they'll come in those little bite-sized moments of being. They're very unlikely to come when you're trying to multitask, you're racing to your next appointment, you're just super busy and hectic. Those aren't the times when you are being. Those are the times when you're doing. So there is a fundamental difference here between being and doing. So what I'd like to encourage you to do is what I'm going to do today throughout day 20, and whatever point you are in the day, if you're just getting up, you're just waking up, or if you've been around for a few hours already, is just use the opportunity of day 20 here in 2022 to just think, okay, can I get more of this being? Because this is when the inspiration is going to come. This is when I'm going to be feeling great. This is when, those moments of clarity, the real enjoyment in life, if I can be in this moment right here, right now, wow, what might happen? And I really will enjoy that moment, rather than just racing. And I'm not saying you have to do this slowly. For you, if your preference is to live a fast life, then great, but be in that fast life. Don't just do that fast life. I like to pack my days full of stuff, not to make myself busy, because that's one word I am completely removing from my lifestyle. I don't want to be busy. I want to be full. I want to be fulfilled, but not busy. Busy is chasing, and that's really not going to serve any of us. So that's one for me that I'm trying to get rid of. So think about some of the words that, maybe don't suit you as you do this thing about being rather than doing. So for me, the three words that, I'm completely and utterly banning from my world and my life, one word is busy, another word is hectic, and the other word is cannot, shortened version of cannot, because I can choose. All of this is choice. It doesn't matter if you've got somebody constantly hassling you on the phone, or you've got a big inbox of emails, or you've just got a packed diary. You've got choices. You really have, genuinely. And it's as soon as you realize that being a human being rather than just slaving as a human doing, you can take those choices and you can make the judgment call as to what is going to serve you best. So let's get today just a little bit obsessive about this word being. And just for today, remind ourselves to return to being a human being rather than just the slaving away all day, every day as a human doing. So I wish you a very great day 20 of 2022, and hope it goes well for you. And think about those words. Think about those words that you're going to remove from your vocabulary today, and just have a little play with it. This is all about the journey, all about exploration. Some of this stuff's going to work for you, some of it isn't. So have a little play, see what you think, and let me know.